Hello, welcome to Flashes of Light with Brother Barracuda. Today, I'm going to be discussing a little bit about personal development. There are four somewhat simple steps that you might want to look into. The reason why I bring this up is because when I was younger, I think I was in my early 20s, I used to bitch and complain to whoever would listen about how it's almost impossible to get a real job and it sucks how working people don't have rights, etc., etc. Um, I was just bitter about a lot of stuff. And I would have people that would ask me things like, well, okay, look, do you think that you have any realistic education? Because you don't. Do you think that maybe if you were a millionaire and you wanted to become a multimillionaire, would you hire you? The answer is probably not. With that said, it's very important to keep a few things in mind. A couple of really important basic stuff. First thing, change the way you think. It's as simple as positive and negative. Try to focus more on positive if you can. It's really as simple as that. Instead of complaining, try to think about inventing a solution. Whatever. Just look into what's better about people, or look for people who exhibit things that are better, or you just got to start thinking more on that along those lines, and you become more attractive to people who appreciate those lines. Secondly, change the way you talk. Changing the way you talk is a really big deal because there's two different kinds of conversation. The first level is for most people. It's about people and things, which is really basic. But the second level of conversation is explanations and ideas. Now, if you are going to embrace negativity, embrace it on a higher level. For example, if you think more about explanations and ideas, then at least you can analyze the negativity. At least you could understand it. And there's so many other things that you learn and you kind of grow as you analyze the negativity from a much more intelligent perspective. And that in itself allows you to pursue solutions, and you are able to transform the negativity into positivity at times. And that makes huge differences. Number three would be to don't be afraid of difficult situations. For example, my acting coach once told me, why don't you visit a nudist colony? I mean, because when you're there the whole time, you have to act like you're not uncomfortable with the idea that you're naked around strangers. I mean, that in itself, just spend a day doing that and you'll really, really become a different person. Don't be afraid to hang out with people who don't speak your language. Don't be afraid to take a weird class. Don't be afraid of taking a vacation in a place that might be less popular. All sorts of things like that. Just don't be a coward in general. You got to stop being a cowardly. If you can just go and pursue a situation, or even problems in some cases, don't be afraid of problems. Take pride in being there and in dealing with stuff. You develop yourself as a human being, and it shows. It shows in ways that I can't explain, and you might not even be able to imagine just yet. Number four, get a hobby. Find one. There's a billion of them, and it gives you something to brag about, because everybody needs that. You need to be able to talk about what you do with your day, and how you care about doing something more important, and how you constantly work to get better at something. Now, the reason why I'm giving you these tips about personal development is because a lot of people tell you you have to have an education if you want to get a real life. But in many cases, education is a pain in the ass. You got to go through the conformity of, public education, which in some countries is free. In other cases, you have to accept ridiculously, cripplingly high amounts of debt just to pretend like you're pursuing an education when you're really not learning anything. So the other option, if education isn't real, then you have to be personally developed, because once in a while you meet like a powerful, richer person that has the opportunity and the power to make a decision to take you under their wing. If you have enough personal development at that time, then it makes a lot more sense. They would, take a risk on you. So with that said, educate yourself, because real education is all over the place, and only you really care about you enough to pursue what you think is important. So do that. But for when you do meet powerful people, you do have to be more developed, and that's one of those things that only you can do for yourself. So go and look into that, and get back to me. Leave a comment, whatever. I'd be interested in hearing about your progress. Take it easy, guys.